Well, okay, there's so many things I have to say about this. My name is Valerie Warren, and I would maybe call myself an amateur cheesemonger because I love cheese. I'm doing an independent study right now within the terroir program, attributing a sense of terroir to cheese. I'm also doing a little bit of microbial studies. And it's extremely traditional, and it's been going on for thousands of years. It is definitely a very refined and very traditional art. It was a product of pasturing and herding. You'd always end up with an excess of milk, and they needed a way to store it, and the easiest way to do that was to turn it into cheese. So we would be nowhere without it. I think just historically it's very cool, and I think that it's something cool to learn about. I wouldn't say that dairy is crucial for our diet by any means. I don't really necessarily think it was a biological need. It was just kind of a product of learning how to farm and domesticating animals. It just kind of happened. It also tastes delicious. It's kind of like cultivating anything else. You grow onions, tomatoes, raise chickens, eat their eggs. I only see milk as kind of another one in the same of like that realm. I also think that's the truest kind of form of terroir. It's kind of reaping the benefits, you know, of these animals that you've raised and them grazing off your grass that you grew and kind of feeling a connectedness. We might be getting a go, I think, at the end of spring. I think it would be so amazing. That would obviously be ideal. It just makes so much more sense to kind of have your own animal and then make cheese as kind of like a logical way for sustenance. Most of the cheese we get in the stores are it's shit, you know? You really have to make an effort to find good cheese, especially with milk from an animal who's treated fairly. Thinking breastfeeding is a weird thing, I think that's absurd. I mean, it's just like so innately a part of our biology. I like very much believe in like mothership, and it's so important for us to be connected to our mothers. And if I'm learning anything about micro, you know, our mother gives us our microbiome, you know, that's kind of what is going to protect us for the rest of our life, and especially for those first few, you know, even months of our life. That's why vaginal birth is so fucking important, excuse my French, but we all know that vaginal birth is so much better, and it's the same with breastfeeding. I mean, why would you give your child, you know, to save your tits or something? Like, drinking milk from other animals, you know, I think that consuming an animal's milk goes hand in hand with consuming your mother's milk. It's just an animal providing you with other sustenance. I think that's really important. I think that's also really beautiful. You wanted to encourage people to breastfeed. You could also be in favor of consuming animals' milk. And I wouldn't give up one for the other. You want to deny milk, then you kind of might be denying your history.